Alright, I wanted to talk about this 1075R. I got to test this for a few days. I put a short fuse on it. It tends to turn better. I really like it with my 1300, so I figured I'd like it. I really like this 150 tail. I'm sure that a smaller tail would make it work better, but I haven't tried that yet. The 150's just effortless. It does everything I want. So first thing, I took this out winging first so that I can kind of get a feel for it. The conditions were mixed swell. You had swell coming in from the southwest, and then northwest swell was coming in with the wind. And so it was really mixed up, and I thought it was going to be a horrible time. There was seaweed, and I caught quite a lot of it, and this thing just pushed right through. In the moments where I didn't have seaweed, I think people describe it as being fast, and I think the more accurate description is it's efficient. There's zero drag. So it feels like you're moving quickly because there's just no resistance at all. And it does a lot of things that are familiar to me. I've ridden the 860R, but the glide on this thing is just tremendous, and it almost asks you not to pump. Like, if you go high in the mast and you get it up there, it's gonna go and tap all of the energy that's coming at you as I'm going out or coming in. It will go double the distance, I feel like, than the 1300S, in my opinion. At least that's what it felt like. And it just wants you to put your feet right over it, and right over the wing, and just go. And it was a blast. So I rode that probably longer than I should have on the wing. The swells looked so bad that I just thought that I would better serve to do that time in the wing. Well, my favorite thing is stand-up foiling. So the stand-up part of it is really what my thing is. So that's how I learned to foil. Mostly was just in the surf. And so I took it out and paddled out with a mixed swell, and it was just, we had a bit of an angle coming in from the wind, so there was a cross swell coming in, but the wind swell started taking over after a few hours of winging. So I didn't really see the bumps there until I got on foil. I popped up, I looked to the right, everything just started opening up. And when I say it was opening up, I mean, we're talking, I live in Florida, so in the Gulf Coast, it might have been in the 1 foot range. Like, when people talk about their small surf, like, it's nothing to this. And I know there's other people that surf smaller, but it's pretty small here. So I couldn't believe that I would actually ended up going down the beach probably a half a mile easily, and I was at the end before I knew it. So I got out, did it again, effortless, all the way down the beach. Felt like a rock star. I am pretty much an average foiler. So for me to pump, the kind of distances and to have the glide and everything, and to line everything up like that, it felt amazing. And I took it out another day we had recently with swells coming in, but they were mainly just wind swells from earlier in the day, and it was pretty mixed up. And if you were to look at it, if I would have showed video of it, which I don't have any video, you would have said it's just basically completely flat. There's nothing out there. Well, I paddled out with it was a little hard to find the right bump to jump up on, because I'm not the best pop-up guy, so I had to wait for the right moment. But once I got up, I was able to pump pretty far up the beach and then back. Not at the same time, but like I would ride, pump that direction, then I would end up riding the other direction on very, very small swells. Actually, the both days that I took it out, I was shocked that I was just looking out, going, I don't even know what I was riding out there, but there was enough energy for this foil, and it just glides so well. And man, I don't know what to say. You have to try it. Like, these code foils, you have to get on them and see, because it's hard to describe. It makes it sound like it's magic and it does it all for you, and that's not true. I mean, you have to pump correctly, and you gotta have to know a little bit. My friend jumped on this. He's foiled before, lower aspect foils, and he liked it, and it was pretty easy, and I was shocked that he was able to do it, and he described it as fast, but he liked it, and but you have to try the foil out to really get the experience of it, because the little things that it does when it locks into a set. The first day we had some rollers coming in, and I'd get locked into a little set on the outside, way out, and it would just lock in and just go straight. Like, you didn't have to do anything. It would project. If you were high enough on the mast, you didn't even have to pump. I realized the less I did, the better, because it would literally just bring me to the next packet, and then I would just turn right into it, and then basically just ride off that energy into the next one. And if you pointed it in the right direction, it would just take you there. And it almost felt at a few moments that it was tapping energy so much on the backside of the wave, cutting out, that I wanted to drop the wing and just pump into the wind, which I know was crazy, but it just felt like I had that kind of efficiency going on, which was bizarre. And of course I didn't do that, but I recommend the heck out of this wing, but I definitely recommend it for people that know what they're doing. And I think an average person could get this going, with a little bit of practice. I think it's a user-friendly foil, but I think a person who has ridden and foiled for a little bit would appreciate this R series way more than a beginner. I feel like the 1300S or other foils in the S series would be a better start for somebody. But if you wanted to buy a downwind foil, for me, I weigh between 90 and 92 kilograms, which is 200 to 205 pounds. I need a bigger wing, but the efficiency is definitely better on this wing compared to the 1300. But and so if you're riding really small bumps and you want to pump around and go some distances, this is a great foil, because it is more efficient than the 1300. But there's a lot to say about the 1300S. It is amazingly fun foil.